Hello everyone, Carlos Flores, back on basics. Let me adjust my camera right quick. So, subscribe to my YouTube channel at Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so you can get notified of any new video that comes on board. If you have a topic, suggestion, feedback, comment, if you want me to give you my take on anything, put it in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to do so. If you want to connect with me on social media outlets, on Facebook, you can type in Carlos Flores Jr. On Instagram, on X, and on Threads, you can type in at Back Out Basics. So, let's talk about moving beyond negative self-talk, negative self-perception. Those are important things that we have to work on every day. And it's hard because I'm telling you, I'm in the same boat. I'm I'm doing these videos. I'm putting different topics. I separate the topics at first, and then the ones that I think could go together, I put them together. Like this video. You know, just moving beyond the negative self-talk is an important thing to do because a lot of times we as human beings are naturally negative, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, I've said this before many times. And so we tend to go to the negative, or we tend to get in our head. And then once we're in our head, we're thinking about things, we're analyzing things. The problem is that from time to time, we need to get out of our heads and we need to ask other people to give us their take on what we're thinking, on what we're what we're doing or how we're doing. And so, it's amazing that we have much opportunity to connect with people, we don't know yet, right? To connect with people that are part of our support system, to connect with friends, families, anybody around. But sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, we tend to think that something's going to happen, or something's not going to go according to how you're planning it. Or sometimes, we stopped because if we stop because we're in our heads, or because we're thinking too much in a negative way, because we're perceiving things that are may be neutral or may not be negative, but we think that they're negative, or we think that things are going to happen a certain way. Remember, right? The best way for you to do things is in the here and now. It's in the present time. Remember, because you can adapt. You can go to your support system. You can talk to other people. You can get different perspectives. The thing is that if you're thinking way too much about the future, then what's going to happen is that you're not going to be able to focus on, because you're going to be worried about what if it doesn't work? What ifs? Remember, we talked about what ifs also. And what ifs can actually get in our heads and can get us to be in our heads, and then have to work a little bit harder so that way we can get out of our heads and just focus on what we want to do and what we have to do. There's so many different things that we have to take into consideration. If we're thinking too much about the past, then we're thinking about, most of the time, I'm not saying all the time, most of the time, the things that we haven't finished, the things that we that we could have finished but we didn't, the things the failures, and again, right? I'm not trying to sound negative, because you know what, human nature is amazing, and the things that we do are amazing. And so but the thing is that we have to put into work every day. We have to make sure that we're focused. We have to make sure that we're motivated. And how do we do that? By making sure that we go beyond negative perceptions, that we go beyond negativity, that we go beyond the fact that things are going to fail. It is what it is, right? But if we're in the here and now, we're in the present moment, those things, those activities that do go the way that we don't want them to go to, we'll be able to adapt It may take us a little bit of time, but we'll get back on course, or we'll find a new way to get there, right? Remember, adaptation is something that we do as human beings, and so we have to make sure that we do that. Adaptation is excellent because not everything goes in a straight line. Not everything is a success, right? And so, sometimes, as I scroll through some of the social media outlets, I can see some of the stuff. People are starting to relate to these kind of topics that I'm doing: psychology, health, life coaching, life balance, uh, moving beyond negative self-perceptions. I mean, there's it on and on and on. Why do we do that? Because we do. Ladies and gentlemen, we are human beings. We are not perfect. That's one of the things that we have to take into consideration. We have to accept that we're not perfect. But the thing is that some of us feel like we're gonna be failing at everything, and we slow ourselves down, or we don't do the things that we need to do or the things that we have to do. And so it's hard to be able to do that. And so again, ladies and gentlemen, let's get past these negative perceptions. Let's get past this slowdown. Let's get past us being inside our heads. Remember, one of the things that help is mind, body, emotional balance. Remember that a lot of the things that we do on a daily basis helps us either to focus our minds, focus our bodies, or balance our emotional, or actually, and balance our emotions. And so we want to make sure that we're working, right? Constantly, every day, put into the work. Remember, the late Kobe Bryant said, you put into work every single day, and he did it multiple times per day. And so it's amazing, right? Because if you put into work, then you'll get focused, then you'll get motivated, right? The thing is that once you get motivated, then you start taking steps towards whatever you're trying to achieve, whatever you're trying to complete. And as you do that, then you'll be able to focus on how to get to the end point. When you succeed, when you complete that task, when you complete that activity. And it's amazing because all of these things that I'm telling you, they compound. Remember the compounding effect, right? One thing plus one thing plus one thing plus one thing, and it adds up. And so the compounding effect can help you move forward, can help you take you step by step. But with a caveat, remember what I've been saying lately, because I know that sometimes, like me, sometimes I just want to get done tomorrow or today. But sometimes it's not going to happen that way, because there are multiple steps for you to get to where you want to get to. And so one of the things that I usually say is that life is not a race, it's a marathon, right? You have to keep consistent strides. You have to keep consistent strides. And you can't lose hope, because you know what? Some people give up inches or certain activities to finish before they get to their goals, before they achieve what they want to achieve, before they get to where they want to get to. And it's sad because they did all that work and all of a sudden they just give up. And it's because they're in their heads. And remember, when you're in your head, it's because you're processing the things with your own life experiences, your own perceptions, and so they tend to be sometimes a little distorted. And so we have to again suggest or ask our support system to give us their take on how we're thinking about something that we're doing. And so again, you can do that. Another thing that you can do that is, if you wanna focus your mind, do something physical. If you wanna focus your physical body, then do something mental. Again, right? It's just psychology, and it's just life balance, and it's just the things that we need to do in order for us to move forward. And then Be humble, ladies and gentlemen. Be humble, because remember, you don't know what other people are going through. You don't know what people have the capabilities to get to, but there might be some roadblocks at this time that they're not moving as fast as they should, or they're not moving at all. And again, it's happened to everybody. It's happened to all of us. Let's be real, right? We may not want to get out of bed, or we may not want to do the things that we need to do. And so again, we have to make sure that we put in the work. And so, right, a lot of the times we are our worst critics, but a lot of the times we are our worst enemies, because we don't look beyond negative perceptions. We don't look beyond positive. We have to look at the positive. Remember, not at the negative self-perceptions, because we are creatures, we are human beings that are able to adapt, which none other, or at least some other creatures can actually do that. But I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, you need to just focus. You need to be in the here and now. You need to get that motivation, right? You need to start focusing on your end point, on your goal. You have to balance your mind, your body, and your emotions. And again, just like I am, I'm part of your support system. You are part of my support system as well. If you need anything, put it in the comment section. Connect with me on all the social media outlets, and then send me a message. I'm more than happy to answer any question that you have. So, subscribe to my YouTube channel at Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so you can get notified of any new video that comes on board. If sometimes you can't get going, it's okay. Take a little breath. See what's going on right now at this present moment. Go back to basic foundations, right? Build upon your foundations. Don't just start something new just because you think that that's the easiest way to get to. Sometimes easy is not the best way. So go back to the basic foundations, start moving forward, take it step by step, focus, bring in your support system, and believe me, you'll get there, and move away from negative self-perception. Back on Basics.